In other news, debt in U.S. households has hit a record high. Government data shows Americans owe $14 trillion.
Americans are carrying a ton of household debt into 2024. From 2022 to 2023, U.S. household debt shot up by a whopping $800 million. It's definitely something to keep an eye on. You know how the new year is supposed to bring a fresh start? Well, for millions of Americans in 2024, it's more like a fresh load of debt and less money in their pocket. The latest data from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York shows that U.S. household debt hit a staggering $17.3 trillion at the beginning of the year. Not just that, credit card debt in the U.S. is going gangbusters. A recent report by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York showed that the total credit card debt just blew past a whopping $1 trillion mark in the second quarter of 2023. And guess what? By the end of the year, Americans would have already piled up on another $100 billion. Not to mention more and more people are falling behind on payments. But wait, there's more. The cost of carrying this debt is also skyrocketing. Interest rates on credit cards have jumped a crazy 30% in just the last year and a half. Yikes, that means even less money left in your wallet. Let's talk about debt. Not just any debt, credit card debt. It's everywhere these days. Unlike that pesky student loan you can't seem to shake. Want to know why credit cards are so tricky? Getting one is a breeze compared to a mortgage, for example. Plus, companies bombard you with offers making it tempting to sign up. On top of that, your credit card score, basically your financial report card, is heavily influenced by how you handle this plastic. A good score means better interest rates and loans down the line. Bad score? Not so much. Remember those good habits your parents or hopefully someone taught you about money? Credit cards can mess with that. Swiping is so easy these days, thanks to digital wallets and buy now, pay later schemes. It feels like you're getting something for free, but that bill will catch up to you eventually. Sure, credit cards can be a lifesaver in a pinch, but with inflation going crazy and the paycheck staying flat, it's tempting to swipe for everyday things like groceries. That's a recipe for trouble though. Let's be smart about the plastic power. MarketWatch dove deep into this debt situation, analyzing data from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York to understand exactly what kind of debts Americans are dealing with and where they're facing the most financial strain. And guess what? It's eye-opening stuff. According to MarketWatch.com's findings, overall U.S. household debt went up by 4.8% from November 2022 to November 2023. The biggest jump was in credit card debt, soaring by 16.6% during that time. About 1/3 of Americans plan to rack up debt for their holiday shopping in 2023. Nearly a quarter of Americans were still carrying debt from their 2022 holiday shopping spree when the 2023 holiday season rolled around. When it comes to credit card debt per person, Washington, D.C. takes the lead with the highest, while Missouri sits at the bottom of the lowest per capita credit card debt in the nation. So it turns out that household debt isn't just a one-size-fits-all situation. According to researchers at the NYFRB's Center of Microeconomic Data, who are the brains behind the organization's quarterly report on household debt and credit, where you live can make a big difference in how much debt you're likely to have. They spilled the beans in the recent interview with MarketWatch, breaking down why debt levels can be all over the map between states. The CMD research team explained how states have different incomes, rates of home ownership, college attendance, and car ownership, which all play into how much debt people in those states tend to carry. And it makes sense when you think about it. More home ownership means more mortgage debt, while higher car ownership could mean more auto loan debt. But here's the kicker. Not all debt is created equal. Mortgages and auto loans are tied to assets like homes and cars, which can be seen as investments. On the flip side, credit card debt is just that debt hanging out on a balance sheet. Paying it off doesn't give you any new goodies. The NYFRB researcher told MarketWatch that credit card debt is linked to spending habits, income levels, and age. MarketWatch's research revealed that DC holds the dubious honor of having the highest credit card debt, per person in the entire US at a whopping $4,660 each. That almost doubled what Missourians carry. They average a slightly less stressful $2,450 per person. Want to see who's managing their plastic fantastic the best? On the flip side, Missouri takes the crown on, should we say, the plastic tiara for the lowest credit card debt per capita. They're followed by states like Wisconsin, Kentucky, all keeping their credit card balances under $3,000 per person. So are you a DC high roller or a credit card conscious Midwesterner? Do you think there's a silver lining on the horizon as American household debt hits a record high? Well, experts are eyeing 2024 as a potential opportunity for Americans to chip away at that hefty debt load. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell and many financial gurus anticipate that the Fed will start to dial back the federal funds rate after a couple of years of steady increase, possibly kicking off this change at the March 2024 meeting. A lower interest rate spells good news for borrowers looking to refinance high-interest loans, potentially slashing monthly debt payments and overall loan costs. On top of that, experts foresee a slowdown in the runaway inflation that's been driving up the prices of everything since 2020. This easing of inflation would come as a relief for folks who've been grappling with shrinking household budgets due to rising cost of living. With these developments on the horizon, Americans could find themselves with a bit more financial wiggle room. It might mean more cash in the checking account or the ability to squirrel away money in high-yield saving accounts or invest in interest-bearing options like CDs. It's like a financial breath of fresh air that could help many households get a grip on their finances in 2024. We found some expert tips online who offered some fantastic advice on managing debt like a pro. First things first, assess the situation. Take a hard look at your debts, know every single dollar and cent like it's your best friend. Don't bury your head in the sand, face it head on. Next up, budget like a boss. Slash unnecessary expenses like a top chef slices onions. If it's not crucial, cut it out. Focus on paying off high interest debt first. Take down the biggest shark in the pond, which is your highest interest debt, before tackling the smaller ones. Get on the phone and negotiate those rates. Lower interest rates are like finding a shortcut. Not every creditor will budge, but it's worth a shot. The worst they can do is say no. Think outside the box for an extra income opportunity. Just be sure you can pay off the balance before the offer ends, otherwise you'll be charged the usual interest rate. If you like watching our informative video, click like and subscribe on our YouTube channel for the latest financial updates. Share your views with us in the comment section below and see you in the next video.